What up, beautiful people? This is Comedy Roundtable. I'm your host, Nate Jackson. Today, we talk about Steph Curry, the gorilla, and the Stanford case with Teron and Kenesha Buss. Hey.
Tuned in to Black Hollywood Live Conversations.
Nate, just to say, I prefer the handsome, charming Teron. I don't just like. No, I'm just. If we're gonna properly introduce each other,
I will say the handsome, charming Teron every time.
thank you.
What would you like? Is there a moniker for you too?
Nope.
I don't think. Can we call her Dragon Breath right now? Can we call her Dragon Breath? Let's be real. This is a real show, you know. This is Comedy Roundtable.
Well, how about Malnificent then?
How about Mouthnificent?
Malnificent. Just today.
Just for today. So Kenesha has gone through some oral surgery and she has been instructed not to brush her teeth for 2 days for health reasons.
Allegedly.
So it makes everything inside her mouth good for her and everything outside her mouth bad for us.
No. You know it's bad when you know your breath smells. Like when you know you can taste bad breath.
Right.
It's really bad.
When you're warning, you can't like lay a piece of gum across your gums.
I can't do nothing. I can't even spit or swallow. Like those are my instructions.
Well,
Why?
Now we know why you're single. And now we know why the relationships are failing.
What I need to know is why those are the two mouth functions you figured out. You could have said, I can't eat.
Because I can eat. They just
I
told
can't
me.
blow bubbles. None of that. No, I can't spit or swhaddle. She's aggressive.
I can't
I
spit.
love
That's
it.
what they said.
So listen, I want to properly introduce you guys. I'm here with the handsome and wealthy. What'd you say?
Handsome and charming.
The
Teron Von
handsome and charming
Yes.
Teron Von Garcy from the Laugh Factory and Comedy Central, and the diva, the dime, the Mouthnificent Kenesha Buss from Sirius XM, Foxhole, All Def Digital, and Stand and Deliver.
What about you? You have your name on your car. It's like everybody
Yes.
knows you,
Yeah,
but
I'm wrapped.
yeah. Let's discuss all your
Yes.
accolades.
Well, let's just keep it short. Nate Jackson from BET Comic View and MTV's Wild and Out Season 8.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about some stuff. I believe in diving right in. For the viewer who's sitting there going, what is we talking about? Why does it take so long? Steph Curry
Oh.
got a side chick, Ronnie Rose.
Whoa.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Let's start
the
using
side
these
chicks
words.
are alleged.
That's the thing. Ronnie Rose is she's a wonderful lady, as far as I can tell. She's a exotic dancer.
Okay.
And she gave a very lustful look in Steph Curry's direction.
She swallowed 2 fingers during the NBA Finals while
She
he was
did, and
looking
she
at her.
has the oral capacity to both spit and swallow.
Hilarious.
Hey.
Well, she said that that's not what she was doing. She was like, I was just taking a sip of my drink and then this aired. And I was
There
like,
was no drink. There was
Right.
no
She
drink.
Not
had
a
a cup
damn
in her
drink.
hands, but it's like, you didn't get no...
There's no drink that tasty.
Right. And your
I've
thirsty
had
butt
some.
needs to drink some
Obey her
more.
thirst, yeah. It was a different form of thirst.
well, I don't know, you guys. I looked through her Instagram and she has some old pictures with, Steph Curry's jersey on with no panties on and all type of stuff like
Oh,
that.
really?
So this ain't just like, everybody thinks it just happened now. She's been putting out little signals out there to catch his attention for a minute. And she was like, go guys, I'm going. And she's at every game. So I don't know who she's messing with, but she's at every
Yeah,
single
because she's
game.
in like the family seats. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out who gave up and put some seats for her. She's definitely in like the second row next
She's
to
definitely-
like Draymond's auntie. Like I'm trying to figure out how she got the plug.
It comes down to this, okay? First of all, she's a super fan, obviously.
Yeah.
Taking
Okay.
pictures with no panties on in Steph's jersey. But the problem is the relationship between Aisha and Steph. That bond is strong, and yet we see over and over again the media and people trying to break that. And this is a very good, church-going, loving, as far as we can tell, family. I mean, they make videos together. They have a family. They have the family I want to have. But when I say that as a man, I say that because I would like a family that resembles that.
Yeah.
Not that I want to take over Steph's family. And that's what I feel like a lot of women do is when they say, oh, with a guy, I'd be like, oh, man, I need a girl like that. But
Like
a lot
that.
of women would be like, I need that
guy
person.
right
I need
there.
that person.
See, here's the thing that I think makes it like a well-rounded, juicy thing. It's like, ooh, completion. Because if you remember like a month ago, he did an interview with like an attractive interviewer, and Aisha came out onto the court
With the two-hand touch.
with
That's
the two-hand
real.
touch, licked his shoulder,
Yeah.
and just was like, "This is all me." She basically, if we were dogs, she peed on the man on national television and staked her claim. So now you have this delicacy in the in the second row there, And she can't get to the shoulder. Aisha can't get to the shoulder fast enough.
Are we calling her a delicacy now?
I'm calling her that. Did you see her?
She's built, but she's got a man face.
She was
A man face?
Yeah.
I
She's
have
strong
to go
in the
with,
jawline.
I have to
All right,
go with
listen.
Miss Kay on this
Let's
one.
watch the clip because we described it as a drink, some thirst. I don't think she has a man face though.
Yeah, she does.
Boom, there she is.
Look.
There's the fingers.
Look.
Look at that.
Watch.
I don't see. There's no.
I want to. I know we don't have the audio, but the slow motion sound that she's making has to be hysterical. Just
That little giggle, you know. Yeah, she's doing all that.
And Steph sees everything, man. He threw that towel behind his head and hit that cup out of Draymond's hand.
That's true.
He saw her fingers headed to her mouth. He didn't miss that.
I think the bad part about that is so many people are excited for her. We're living in are they going to play the volume? Because I was like, hold on, if they got her making the noise. We're living in the era where there's a clothing line out that says, I love her husband, and you're a miserable wife, and I'm a happy side chick. Like, we are in the generation where people support cheating, and they support
Of course.
mistresses. I mean, Amber Rose has a whole march for whores. Slut walk. So, I mean,
I don't
everybody's
think that's
excited
what the
about
slut
that.
walk is. I don't think that's.
Oh, it's a
slut-
bunch of hoes.
I mean, that's what you said. The slut walk is exactly the opposite of that, actually.
I'm not on board with that statement. I'm not on board with
I'm
that
on board with
statement.
it.
We do live in a society where adultery is a lot more tolerated. We have, monikers like Mr. Steal Your Girl,
Yes.
which is always a thing where in hip hop specifically, it seems that artists are always trying to take other people's girls instead of just finding their own girl.
Right.
It's a sign of disrespect, and it's a sign of alpha maleness.
Dominance.
Exactly.
But you can't take somebody that's truly happy either. So that has a lot to do with the relationship and not the person coming up.
You
Sure.
can
In the
take
relationship.
someone who's true. Here's the
Yes,
thing.
I agree
A
with
woman
Nate.
does not
That
need
is
to
not
take
true.
Steph Curry from Aisha Curry.
No.
All she has to do is get one off. If she gets one off, she has now completely ruined
Tainted.
what we see as, what he's saying.
The perfect relationship.
It's not perfect no more. Steph is now not the golden child anymore. Now he's just another dude that did it. You
They
know what
want
I mean?
people to fall from grace.
They do. Well, it's and that's the problem is that now we're seeing this is a couple who, regardless, let's add in a black couple
Yes.
because
Right.
it does add, in my opinion, value to their relationship. And when I say that, it's because so often in the media do we portray broken black
Right.
families that it's lovely to see another amazing black family. Like even our example of the perfect black family, he became a rapist in his old age. Like they have taken
Allegedly.
Oh, wait
Bill
a minute.
down.
No, I
Hold on
can't.
now.
I can't go with that
No,
statement.
not at all.
Listen,
Not
after
at
the
all.
maybe the first 15,
You can
16,
say numbers.
but once it became 46, at some point someone
It wasn't free though. As soon as you said you got raped by Bill Cosby, there was a monetary value that you would be assessed and told,
Yes.
well, here's probably what the lump sum's going to be, and here will be your chunk. So you're jumping in on. Have you ever gotten a letter where somebody was getting sued over something like, Chase was doing excessive fees on their overdrafts,
okay.
and you were with Chase during the time that it stated? You're not going to look at that and be like, well, I don't really feel like my fees were high. You can be like, yeah, I'm getting in on my $1.42. That's what they were doing
Yeah.
for the 46th girl.
I'm not supporting any type of rape
Chicks were
culture.
coming out.
And
not
they
just
weren't
coming
even
out
saying that.
Chase.
They were like, "Oh, he rubbed up against me at a party." Like people aren't really looking at some of the stuff
Yeah.
going on. It wasn't.
They're like,
I
I
don't
smashed
know.
a dude that looked like
yeah.
Bill Cosby.
All I'm saying is,
47.
regardless if regardless if Mr. Cosby did it or not, the concept of the united black family has been broken,
Tarnished.
and tarnished.
Not broken,
in
but
media.
tarnished.
Tarnish.
Because we
Time and
also
time
have
again.
good examples.
Yes.
But recently in the last years, they've definitely been like,
Of
with
course,
the
even-
Jocelyn and Stevie J's, Love and Hip Hop.
Has
That's just, come on.
destroyed.
Exactly.
It might as well just be called,
Well, they get played by the corniest dudes too. That just irritates me. Like those are the corniest men in the world on those shows. They are the worst.
Yeah, because
The
I
worst.
watched a couple scenes and I was like, okay. It was just
Yeah,
like,
it's-
first of all, this dude was extremely ugly.
That-
And he was laying poolside, drinking a mimosa, and talking to two women. I was like, this is outrageous.
yeah.
So you're upset that he was unattractive in doing this?
I was
upset. That's
Bottom-
no-
If I'm gonna
it's
get
nowhere
played, it's gonna be
near
by
what's
somebody
real.
cute.
That's
Ugly
not
people are not
even
playing.
real.
say that, and yet we have Peter Guns. With
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know how these lame, super lame dudes, funny looking
Who's
dudes
the one with no
are
neck?
doing this.
The one that looks like a
Benzino.
bulldog got
Oh, my
punched right in his
goodness.
forehead.
Benzino.
There's no way he's
Him?
on. He's not in real life having chicks.
No.
On TV having chicks.
Benzino used to be that man, Nate.
Used to be.
Benzino ran The Source when it was The Source.
When he had a neck.
He never had a neck. By
What
the
we
way.
need to do is get down into all that meat and find the source of his neck.
Can we get back to Steph Curry and their family?
Yes.
I feel like we're still on topic. It's okay to segue into unrealistic portrayals of men and women on TV
Yeah.
in
Which
regards
is the
to
problem.
relationships.
And even with Will and Jada, we constantly are up against rumors of their open relationship or Will's sexuality comes into play. And this is what I mean by it. And right now we see amazing, almost royal family in Steph and Aisha.
Right.
And then along comes the spider trying to sit down beside him.
Oh,
And
I
we
don't
have
think
to-
he did
we have
Well,
to
the
be
spider was in the second row. Okay, so
And
Right
she's
next to
already been
us.
spotted with a lot of other people.
yeah, along came the spider. The itsy bitsy spider had already had her seats and tickets
There was
purchased.
nothing
Okay,
itsy bitsy about that girl. She
That's a
was
$1,400
boom,
ticket.
bam.
Yeah, it is.
super thick. Let's watch that clip one more time just so we can see the outfit. She's got a color coordinated, skin tight. It's almost body paint.
Oh yeah, there's a picture of her with all her friends, and they all got on Steph Curry little, like they're going after him. They know what they're doing,
They
and
know
I
what
think
they're
it's
doing.
disgusting.
They're single players on the team.
Yeah,
Why?
Because Steph is the
'Cause
king
he's
of
that
that
dude.
team.
Well, I think honestly, it's not necessarily the media that's trying to just look at her. Look at that. Look at that curve. It's not just the media doing it. There's something in that look right there, the maliciousness of that look. So she wants to do it.
yeah.
She wants that W.
Which is well within her right. She has no obligation to Steph Curry or Aisha or any loyalty to them. I don't want to shame her for being who she is. What I'm saying is what they're trying to do is shame Steph for something he had no
hasn't even
control
done.
over.
Right. No, you can take that stance. I'll shame her. Take your raggedy butt and worry about somebody else. Don't be in the fourth row taking pictures with panties and jerseys
Did
and
you just give him an amen
making
on
faces.
that?
I had to give
You
him
gotta
an amen.
shame her. We gotta hold each other accountable. And you're
Yeah.
like, hoes are gonna be hoes. It's on the husbands to be good husbands.
I
No,
don't never
she
talk
don't need to be
about-
putting all that pressure on him.
And that's what I said before. Like these women that have the "I love her husband" T-shirt. If
Yes.
you're a wife, you should just slap whoever you see in that T-shirt because it's disrespectful
matter who.
I
to the
never
sanctity of
advocate
marriage.
physical
Yeah.
violence and or judge people by the
I do.
clothing that they wear. I'm a man in a bathrobe. I don't judge. I'm just saying.
But if the
in my
bathrobe
opinion,
said "I'll sleep with your wife," then that's a whole nother different bathrobe, right?
I have that bathrobe. It's at home.
This was the
Is
bathrobe.
it at your house or?
Is it at her house?
Okay.
That's
okay.
just
Or are you
so we
trying to
have a
leave it at
picture
mine?
of Ronnie Rose in the restroom, supposedly with a man face.
Yeah. You know what?
She has a
And
strong
nowadays
face.
you can't tell.
She used to be a stripper. She teaches twerk classes.
I think her body is fantastic. I just think she's strong in the jaw.
I think that the concept of what she wants to pull off with Steph has nothing to do with her face.
I think it has a lot to do with
Strong
her face.
jaws
I think.
might have something to do
Well,
with
yeah,
it.
the times we're living in, she has strong jaws.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're basically looking at the concept of love versus lust.
Yeah.
And how many men would succumb to the lust?
Unfortunately, in today's day and age, a lot. And that's the problem, is because a lot of people have broken relationships, and it comes to a temperament of attitudes. We are used to, if we break something, like if I break my phone, my first thought is I'm going to purchase a new phone. My father breaks his phone. His thought is, how do I fix this phone?
Right.
And that's something that I find is applicable to today's relationships as well.
Maybe I'm old school. I broke my phone and tried to fix it.
Nah, you just cheap, my dude.
Metaphorically, I was like, if I set it in rice, it'll dry out.
I'm from the era of I don't have to put up with no broke phone, so I'm gonna go get me a damn new phone.
Okay, that's you two. New phone versus, let me see if I can fix this one before I blow this bread first.
Sometimes you gotta have two phones. Anyway,
Okay, Kevin Gates. All right, so let's move on to the second story. The second story I have, which has been pretty much everywhere, is the story of Harambe the gorilla in the zoo. And the young child who climbed into the zoo. Now, we do have some footage on this, so we'll just show you here. But a child tells his mom he's going to get down into the cage, gets down in there despite her saying don't go in there. And this is what happens.
Boy screams. The urgent calls to 911 can be heard on this bystander video. The family tries desperately to keep him calm as Harambe takes him out of sight. Harambe drags the boy around the moat and up a ladder for a total of 10 minutes.
Are you laughing?
As the zoo's dangerous animal response team anxiously decides what to do next.
The little boy himself had already been.
Well, there you have it.
That is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's not funny. If that was your child, you would not be laughing.
First of all, if that was my child, he wouldn't have been down there. Okay, I used to be a teacher. I love when kids do stupid stuff and get the consequences. It's funny to me.
I'm so glad
It
you
is
don't
so
teach
funny
my
to me.
children. Then I don't have my
Right, your
If your
hypothetical
child
kids.
is down there, then whatever happens, happens. You're the monkey's baby now. I'm not dealing with that.
Do you think this has to do with raising your kids right? Like I could easily just be like a black mama would have you know what I mean?
It was a black mom.
Yeah,
First
when
of
we
all,
found
and I
out she was
remember-
black.
Yeah, when it first happened, everyone assumed that the child was white. Everybody.
Right. Everybody.
It's like when you hear about a school shooting or when we talk about reverse racism, this is one of the portrayals is we all assumed that this was going to be a white child.
Yeah.
It was not. He was not. And we were surprised that the mother, Michelle Gregg, was an African-American in the Cincinnati area. And her being a young mother came into play. Her being a bad mother came into play. People started.
I don't know if you could say a bad mother.
Speaking of bad,
I don't know if that bad mother is.
let me tell you something. The baby said he wanted to get down into the cage. She said no. The baby then got down into the cage. That distinctly for me means this was a bad little baby. He was hard-headed.
Yeah.
A picture has been released that
Look at
Kanisha sent me. We have pictures of the first recorded pictures of the baby since the accident.
That's a little hard-headed
Is
kid.
there a Donkey Kong on his T-shirt? I mean, this is. I just look
This
at
little
him.
boy looks bad as hell.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
if your boy called you like, "Yo, Teron, can you babysit my kid? I gotta run. I got something to do."
No,
And then you open your door and he's standing there like that.
Little
You
Nicky,
know,
little Nicky over
you
here,
are
the devil's
in
baby.
for a hell of a night.
Yeah. Look at it. He looked like he'd need a butt whooping.
He looks like Bucky, Black Chucky. Do you see him?
So the problem, if people don't know, is that the gorilla got shot. The gorilla was killed in order to save the child. And
Which no one would trip on except for he was an endangered species and like the only male lowland gorilla left.
silverback gorilla, which made him very indispensable to a lot of people who the day before didn't care about gorillas. And that's what I think a lot of things come into play is that everybody, first of all of a sudden everyone became a super parent. That would have never been my kid. If it was my kid, I would have jumped down there and threw the gorilla.
Yeah, I've heard that twice. I'm like, okay, there'd be pieces of mom and baby everywhere.
Exactly. Number two, that this was an unfit mother, which we have no evidence of this whatsoever. Which all of a sudden, even the prosecutor who decided not to prosecute the mother used the term, well, if the mom was in a bathroom using crack at the time, which is a little harsh. Why is that the immediate go-to for unfit
Why is
mother?
it, yeah, your metaphor.
When Michelle Gregg is a black mother, right? Would we have said if the mother wasn't in the bathroom shooting up meth, if it was the other way around? Thirdly,
I don't think you shoot meth, but I hear you.
okay. I don't know how to do math, Nate. Why don't you educate us?
You
Well,
put on a
first-
robe.
You need a bathtub.
The third point.
The third point is that all of a sudden everyone became gorilla behavioral specialists. Everyone was like, I watched the video and the gorilla was trying to save the baby and everything.
He was protective though. He was trying to change his pull-up at one point. I seen it. Like he was very, very protective.
Is
of
that
this
what
little
you
boy.
saw?
Yeah.
That's not what I saw.
You didn't see that? That's
No. I saw the footage.
Okay.
I didn't see a gorilla trying to protect no pamper.
Yes, he did. When he was standing
I
up,
saw
he was
a
trying to pull his
gorilla-
little pants up.
Keeping everything away from his meal.
No, not
what
at
I
all.
saw.
He was harboring the boy from all the screams.
So he
and
was. So
everything.
was he the little boy? He wanted hydroplaning the little boy around.
But that's what they do with their own young.
Now, even though he look, no, they don't.
Yes, they
even
do.
though he looks bad, if you look closely on his elbow and on his forehead are like major scars.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you, if we're just gonna talk about how violently the monkey dragged the baby, it was aggressive.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
aggressive.
at the
But he
beginning of
wasn't
the
trying to
story,
hurt
I
him.
watched it the
Maybe
first
not.
time, and I was like, no, they shouldn't have killed him. Oh my God, monkey gotta go. The monkey gotta go. He can't be dragging people like that.
a gorilla of that stature, from what I've read, have the capacity to crush
Immediately.
2 tons to 4 tons like it's nothing. And their babies are built for it. Our babies are not. Our babies are actually some of the worst babies on my Like, babies come out and already swimming and walking. And baby dogs don't try to jump off a cliff every time you let them leave them by themselves. Little baby humans, well, first thing they'll do if you look away is grab a fork and go straight to electrical outlet to destroy some things. And that's what this kid did. In this case, the specialists agree.
We
that
got
this
some more
was the
footage
best decision.
of gorillas playing with their kids.
Yeah, see, that's what
That's
they do.
I don't think that's a
They need to
gorilla.
put that monkey down too.
No, they don't.
Any gorilla dragging a baby.
You ain't never wrestled with your cousins. This ain't nothing. This is.
I don't drag my cousins
Really? I've
on
been dragged
gravel.
like that.
No.
You've been dragged like
That-
you need to call
listen,
the police. That is
Yeah.
an abusive
That
relationship.
little
Let me tell you
baby-
something. My mom did that to me when I was 16. I came home and had all my hair cut.
See, you see that bottle? You have to look closely. Let's go back to the top of the clip. The mama's dragging him because that baby was drinking alcohol. She told him stay out the liquor cabinet. So that is actually what we're watching is an old school ass whooping, and you think that this is playful. The baby, when she stops, the baby's not gonna know where he's at.
Have you
That's
ever
how
watched
hard he's
Planet
getting
of the
drugged.
Apes? Have you ever seen Planet of the Apes? You see how
No.
strong those monkeys are?
But I know they're strong.
And that's the other thing. People don't know how strong monkeys are. I had homeboys like, well, I would have jumped in there and shot the
No, you
ass.
wouldn't
Like,
have.
you're not about to slap box with no gorilla, bruh. What do you think this is?
People
They're
really
like 10
believe that.
times stronger than
But
us.
I don't understand why they just didn't tranquilize them. That was my whole thing. Like, why?
Because it would have taken, from the specialist's mouth, 5 to 10 minutes. And here's the thing about it. When it comes to everything we think, we don't know.
I know
The
that's right.
specialists who do know made a split-second decision, and they decided what to do. They decided what to do. And they made that, and it happened.
Somebody heard about it. Here's the thing. We don't know Harambe.
Yeah.
We have pictures of the baby afterwards. We have pictures of the monkey afterwards. But we don't know Harambe. The man who's been feeding Harambe all these years is like, if he ever gets a hold of somebody, I got to kill him.
You gotta shoot
As soon as they were
Yes.
like, there's a baby in the cage, he was running to get that rifle the entire 10
Yeah.
And
minutes.
they made that decision. It was them that made that decision.
Right. No, he didn't have to make a decision. There's a what and where?
Yeah, it wasn't
I'll be
American
right
Idol.
back.
It wasn't American Idol. We didn't get to vote on text like shoot or not.
had
This
to
wasn't
go.
Hunger Games. This was a real life situation.
Had to go. And then we only saw the clip of the baby being dragged is really actually a few seconds of what was 10 minutes. If
Yeah.
you listen to the story, the gorilla was dragging the baby up ladders and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Playing doggy Kong with the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going over in the back in the bushes. Just
threw a
basically
barrel
what we
at the
just
baby.
seen.
Have you ever watched? Possibly. Possibly. And
Right?
the little baby wasn't jumping.
It was a lot. So, do you think that the zoo was correct in putting down the monkey, or do you think they should have maybe tried to put down the monkey another way?
Can I start off by saying this? I don't know. And frankly, I don't know if I'm even supposed to know because that's not what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
I know that's what happened. And I wish that more people or the same people who care about the 17-year-old gorilla cared about a 12-year-old Tamir Rice.
Come on now.
When that happened.
Preach.
I wish that was the case. And that's the thing is that people care about what's trending. All of a sudden, because I shopped at Whole Foods, I became a gorilla specialist and I know what was best for that gorilla.
Yeah.
The specialist made a decision. Do I think that we should have cared about other? Did you know that same day that the gorilla got shot, that 3 young African American teens were killed by a police officer in Alabama that same day, unarmed? Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that? Because I just made it up. But the fact that we even think that was a possibility.
Oh, I
makes
was
you
like,
think
I believed you, 100%.
that's something we should
Well, that's
care about
because
more.
we have this whole thing of Black Lives Mattering and not mattering to some people. When people heard it or thought it was a white child, they're like, oh, good. Yeah, you have to kill the gorilla. It was a black baby.
Yeah.
They killed an endangered species for a black baby.
I don't know if that's exactly how it played
It was.
out.
I'm
It
telling
was.
you.
I'm
There
telling
was
you
people that were
that's-
like,
yeah.
what if it was a white gorilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
What if it was an Asian baby? What would they have done then? I have somebody who I know is a racist, and I hit him because I just want to know.
You know he's a racist.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
he's like, I'm
Confirmed
racist.
racist?
Yeah, I'm like, what
This
do you
is
think
Paula
about
Deen?
this?
Your friend is
No,
Paula
I had a
Deen?
post on Facebook, and he was giving his 2 cents. I was like, yo, do you mind if every now and then I check in with you on different topics? Because you're very racist.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't care. It's my opinion, whatever. I'm like, bet.
Okay.
He's like, there's only 3 of those monkeys left. You don't kill one of 3 monkeys left on Earth for one of hella
7
monkeys
point-
Yeah.
that we have. He called both of them monkeys, and I was like, okay, logging off.
You know what?
You got to.
That's actually kind of a good point when you really put it in terms of statistics. I'm just saying, there's only 3 of them left. If I had known that,
That's what they're saying. So that's
He could
why
have been
they
the last
say.
one left. If it was a white baby, they would have been fine that he was dead.
They would have shot him with a white bullet from a white gun off a white ladder on,
On a white Christmas.
Right.
They would have
pressed
killed a unicorn for a white
and
baby. They would have killed a unicorn.
they would have killed a dragon unicorn holding a dinosaur egg for a white baby.
That's why no fairy tales have black princesses. Nobody would have saved them.
Right. We
That's
got
some
one
cold
black
shit.
princess, and it's the only one that's not named after the princess.
Are you talking about that little
Snow
frog?
White. Yeah, Princess and the Frog. She's anonymous.
But she wasn't even a princess, was she?
She was just a chick in the French Quarter, and she was looking for love. She was kissing frogs in the mouth. They were turning into other frogs. It was disrespectful.
I know a lot of girls who go to a Greystone on Sunday that do the exact same thing.
I
Kissing
did it on the
frogs.
way here.
He was kissing a frog, and he snatched your tooth out.
But that's, let's look at this, is that we tend to care about something that's trending today.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many people did the ice bucket challenge? The ALS ice bucket challenge?
I did.
Did you? What does ALS stand for?
It is Lou Gehrig's
Yeah,
disease.
but ALS is the initials for a disease, and Lou Gehrig's disease is not that.
That's because it's like autoimmune. It's not an easy thing to say.
Sure.
It's not.
The fact that you did the ice bucket challenge and don't know what happened with ALS since.
I did it for Lucius for Empire because I really liked that show, and he had a
Exactly.
I was like,
More people did
I'm
it for
doing it
that.
for
That's
Lucius.
what it is. It's like, where's Cody 2012? How are people feeling about that now?
Oh man,
It
yeah,
wasn't
that
even
went
real,
down.
though.
That was a
went
big
down.
deal. That was it was real.
Yeah,
Cody-
but what had
Cody
happened
real.
was-
Do you know what
It's
ALS
currently
stands for?
It's amyotrophic.
How you get a T out of X?
You're pretty close. It's
Yeah,
amyotrophic
syndrome.
lateral sclerosis.
Lateral sclerosis syndrome.
Yeah, it's just Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, people tend to care about something because it's trending. And
Just
then-
know that ALS, the actual what it is so hard that people just called it the most famous person that had it.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm not. Look, I'm
That's
not
what it is.
mad that you didn't
That's
know
what
it
Lou
meant.
Gehrig had.
Oh, they got that Michael Jackson.
They
when
got-
you're skinny,
exactly.
they do that
I'm
for
not
you.
mad
You got that Magic
you didn't know
Johnson.
what it was for.
Yeah, you don't want that Magic Johnson.
Nah,
You don't want
that.
the Magic Johnson. That's for sure. Well, I might. He owns a bunch of movie theaters and it's
No,
gone now.
I don't want that Magic Johnson.
You can have. I will be broken
You know
healthy.
what's
You
funny?
hear me?
Ronnie Rose went after Magic Johnson first.
What?
Okay, I made that up too.
Oh.
She's out there, bro.
We don't know. You guys, once again, if you're believing it, then it's possible. You know what I'm saying?
It is
That's
possible
true.
that a thought would go after a person with a lot of money, regardless of a disease.
Yes.
Armed with condoms and trying to get on.
I'm sure we would all be surprised how many girls Magic Johnson still get. How much magic his Johnson still performs on a daily basis.
Right. How many times is the magic wand out?
Yeah, we know.
Well, he never. that's another story. Well, he ain't got that shit.
But people are making a mockery of things like we spoke on Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
and putting down hashtag Gorilla Lives Matter, which is
Not okay.
Annoying.
Black
as
Lives
hell.
Matter is a movement because unfortunately in the current system of the United States judicial system, we see that there is not a fairness between black lives versus white
Other
lives.
Any
right?
lives. Yeah.
Well, we just the whole notion is Black lives versus other nationalities. This with
Is an
Harambe
animal. This is an
completely
animal.
is like, is it black? Now we are. Is it
Gorilla
that
lives.
bad?
Exactly.
That
Okay,
they
so
have.
a black life versus a gorilla life. Okay, and if you were talking to someone going, now we're getting there. Okay, what if it was the last gorilla? And that was a conundrum for most people.
Yeah.
That's real.
No, human life trumps all of that.
At least we have lived our lives that that's the case. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying that should be or it shouldn't be the case. And it's even sadder that as a black person, all I'm asking is I'm getting harassed by police. I want everyone to get harassed by police. Like, I'm not
Right.
saying stop police harassment. What I'm saying is include more people in police harassment. That's really what these things come down to. And people go into Black Lives Matter like all lives matter. Well, you would never run into let's say a breast cancer awareness program and be like, what about testicle cancer? All cancer matters. No, this is just
Right.
about. So now they're taking the hashtag Black Lives Matter and applying it to gorilla lives as if this gorilla's life is more important or as equally important as the 40 million black people in the United States.
Yes.
And I have a problem with that.
I have a theory. I think that I don't know if it's a theory as much as I kind of feel like some of this is Harambe's fault because apes are the most developed brain-wise animals out of any other species closest to humans on Earth, right?
Sure.
So you would think if his life consisted of only being into a container and something else entered the container to sort out whether to mess with it or not, fight or flight, right? I think he made the wrong decision. He was a 17-year-old gorilla. Now, I don't know gorilla years, but dog years are 7. So that means he was a 119-year-old gorilla. He was wise. Okay, his butt cheeks were covered in gray gorilla hair.
Maybe he just wanted a grandbaby.
But
Maybe.
once again, we are going based on the perception that, he treated the baby like it was his own child, right?
She is.
Yeah, it is. Are you looking at the protective instincts? Have you watched videos of every other animal on here?
Let me tell you what it looked like to
make
me.
you a
I'm going
professional.
to tell you what it looked like to me. It looked like a crip got a hold of the baby blood, and every time the cops looked away, he did something to it. That's what it looked like. He would be cool for a second, and then whoever he was looking at that would be like, "You guys go get it," and then they'll look back. What happened? What?
He was reacting to all the noise. If they would have calmed down, then nothing would have happened. I promise you.
So that's whose fault it is?
How do you know? Well, stop saying I promise you. You have
Hey,
no
listen,
background.
you're supposed to believe in whatever you say. I
Okay.
said I'm promising you. If they would have been quiet.
So I
So
know
you're
your
blaming it on the
promises aren't
Indian
worth
man
anything.
and the white
Yes.
woman we hear in the background
Yes.
screaming, "Hello!"
Yes.
And you think that concerned the
Because
gorilla?
it's chaotic. I mean, there usually people are yelling and have fun, but it was a different level of being chaotic, and
I think that
disturbed
gorillas
him.
are used to being in a container and having chaotic sounds.
But they can
when
tell
King
the
Kong was in
difference
theaters, everyone was
between
running up to
laughter.
King Kong.
But they can tell the difference between laughter. If you walk by a movie theater and you hear a bunch of laughter, or you walk by somewhere, then you're like, okay, I'm used to that. But if you hear these terrible screams, you're gonna start being fearful, and you're gonna flight, or you're gonna go in there and
because
see
you
what's
are
going
a
on.
human being. This is a gorilla. We have
But you
no
guys keep
idea
saying how
what
smart they
gorillas-
are, so why wouldn't they sense
was my
danger.
point.
They sense
I
the
know
same
a lot
things
of
that we
stupid
sense.
people, Kanisha.
They sense the same
if they're
things that
as
we
smart
sense.
as them. All I know is what happened, and what happened was the gorilla got shot and got him. And Nate's saying the gorilla got himself shot.
I have another
he
friend
coulda
who's
left him there.
crazy,
Okay.
and he says the mom tried to abort her child with that gorilla.
I
Years
think
later.
that years later.
Since she didn't jump in there trying to save him, stay calm, baby.
I'm still trying to figure out how did he get in there. How did he survive the fall? Like how
The
are they
baby
up on
climbed.
the top?
He climbed
Because this is
through
what I
a
need to know.
fence,
Okay.
under something else,
Okay.
through the moat, under another fence, then fell 10 to 15 feet.
So this is
into
what
the
I'm saying.
We
containers.
think the kid deserved the ass whooping the gorilla was giving him.
I mean, the kid is like, I just want to touch it.
Yeah,
Well,
but where's the parent at that
congratulations.
entire time? I feel like she might have, gave him a little
The
push.
parents,
was what-
once she realized, and this is why no charges are being pressed. is
Mm-hmm.
Once Miss Michelle Gregg realized that her child was missing and saw the progression of the child, she saw him go towards, and there was nothing. She kept begging for the child to come back, and he decided
He was
to
that
be-
hard-headed.
he
Stop!
was-
Don't go under. He done went under. Don't climb through. He done climbed through. Don't get in that moat. He done got in that moat. Don't you? Oh!
But let me tell you
Stay
something.
calm.
That this kid never.
But
got
let me
ass
tell you
whooping.
something. If your kid is getting ready to run in the street, before they get to the street, you're able to snatch them before they get into the street. She had a long time before she could have grabbed
I
him before he
mean,
got all the way in
maybe
there.
the first
maybe
thing she
not.
went under might have just been like, "Oh, come back." You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
At the end
Her
of the day,
voice didn't even sound that panicky. Mommy's
yeah,
here
she was
for you.
extremely calm.
Yeah, like I couldn't even imagine.
Do you want a donut?
It was just, I'm here for
I
you.
have candy for you.
Let me tell you something. These raccoons were after me and my mom, and she was panicking. Like
guys
this
are
woman had
horrible
no
people.
panic
Okay,
in her
you guys
voice.
are
It's not that we're
horrible.
horrible. It's just that we understand there's a certain discourse of a black parent that we did not hear in that video.
Yeah.
There wasn't no, didn't I tell? There was no.
None of that.
So now,
nothing.
when it comes, now it's appropriate to stereotype and be racist and say a
If
black
we're
mom
gonna-
would have, and she wasn't a black enough mom to save her
I'm not
baby.
necessarily saying she wasn't a black enough mom. I'm just saying a mother as a whole. Yeah, a white woman, a Chinese, everybody. There would be more urgency in her
I'm
voice
saying
that was
it.
not
She's
there.
a black woman from Cincinnati, and that little badass baby is
It
her
is hers?
child.
Yeah.
Obviously, that
He
baby-
been bad. That was the baby's
That
kid
wasn't a first
face.
time.
Now
That
I
wasn't
can't
a
say
first-
he might have just, even then he might have just, maybe somebody pulled it off camera and that was his face and they caught it. You know, maybe the press just took the worst face he made all day and he was adorable the rest of the time.
No,
but
that looked
to me-
like his
can you pull
face.
up the baby's face again?
Can pull up the baby's face. That looked like the baby's face. Like that looked like the
I
normal
know bad
baby
kids.
face. And
That's a bad baby.
case.
Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing. When
I've
they
taught
have the
3-5
line
years.
across their nose between the eyes, they've been making that
Yes.
face a lot.
Yeah.
He does look like the kid that my parent wouldn't let me play with just based on the way he looked. Like, this isn't that. Like, no, he's no good for us. You know that?
Oh my goodness, he's just
He's
terrible.
gonna
I
be
bet
a
you don't
bad
even know his
influence.
ABCs.
Well, I mean, but you know what? This is the ultimate card. The gorilla card is the ultimate card because now this baby, like anything the mom says, has to go. Because remember,
First
the
of all,
time
you better
the
go
gorilla,
work in the gorilla field and give back to all gorillas. He
He's a
just shows
zookeeper?
it. Yeah, he needs to be a
He's gotta grow up.
zoologist.
He needs to start.
He needs to be the
He's
next
gotta do
Jane.
something.
They need to give him a restraining order against all. Like, he shouldn't be allowed within 500 miles of another
Wouldn't it
gorilla.
suck if you got hit by a car tomorrow? You be like, we gonna waste.
Whoa. Whoa.
You just be mad, like you better live.
I do
You
know
got
that
to
this
live.
isn't his first offense.
It's
It
not?
isn't his first offense. I mean, this is probably a reoccurring behavioral pattern from this kid.
To not listen, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's
Especially
also,
headed into imminent threat. He's
Corporal
got to be Jane
punishment.
Goodall. That's the name I was looking for.
this is one of the examples of why we need bring back the ass whooping. Like, bring it back. We
Oh
need it.
man,
Speaking of people who need ass whoopings, I'm going to segue into our last story here that we have.
yes.
The last story is about the Stanford swimmer who is Olympic strength abilities. I think has helped him avoid getting the full blunt of the law. The judge basically said that prison will change him too much and let him off after rape.
Stanford Brock Turner.
There you go.
Stanford swimmer who, this is the storyline in case you guys missed it. They're leaving, they're at college parties. He sees a young lady passed out behind a dumpster, proceeds to go over there, pull her skirt up, pull his pants down, and have sex with her. And then 2 other men, okay, this is when I mean real men, came, saw what was going on, and knew something was wrong, and immediately went, wrestled him down, and held him there until the police came. That's why I say they're men. And then when he goes before the court, the judge on the case decides to give him leniency,
Yes.
giving him 6 months, and then proceeds to say that not only will jail change him, that I can tell that he's a person of moral character and fiber, basically. And with good behavior, he'll be out in 3. The people are like, but he has to register for the sexual registry, which, I mean, that's not anything of an effect that's going to obviously happen to this young lady, to the young lady's family. And then his dad came out with an expose where he said, this is such a high price for my son to pay for 20 minutes of action. Word for word. And I
Yes,
quote,
he did say
20
that.
minutes of action.
Which is ridiculous because there's people of other nationalities in jail for 2-3 lifetimes over things that took a split second.
Like a
20
dime bag
minutes.
of weed. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And that's real. I thought, and for a second, I thought you were going to be 20 minutes. Let's be real. It only took 10. But yeah, like 20 minutes of action changed his life, and it should have. And I mean, I hope he feels the same way when 20 minutes of action happens to his son while his son is in the prison shower. And I wonder if he feels the exact same way.
And you know what's crazy about that? They've been trying to protect him from the beginning because they hid his original mugshot for a very long time. He looks like the pervert he is, but what they did is they cleaned him up. They put him in a nice little
suit.
jacket and a suit, and he's got a haircut, and just trying to make you feel so sorry for him. But then when you have someone who is murdered, they put up they're in a hoodie, and you know what I'm
100%.
saying? It's just
The
the way
Trayvon
that media,
picture.
the
Well, they
Trayvon
were
picture.
taking the picture from because he wanted to be a news reporter as well. So they were taking his picture from his audition for that. He's in a suit, tie,
When have you ever got to use your audition picture for? You know what I'm saying?
A post on you raping someone.
Yes.
Well, when have you ever raped someone? Let's ask that first, But second of all, when would that be the picture that would be appropriate? And my whole concern is that this is so many different so many different issues in one. Because there is that race issue.
Yes.
Then there's also the case of Brian, the football player who was 16.
Unlawfully sent to jail.
Exactly, went to jail for 5 years, 2 months because he had kissed a girl and the girl decided to say that she was raped and then recanted 5 years later. And they let him go, and he was one of the best football players in the country. And where was that judge and the leniency with him, right?
With the same, it's going to change him too much because there's a lot of young men that are in jail to this day that
a lot of young men of color.
Same, the saying for that. Though this is going to change you too much because you robbed a liquor store, you went on a joyride. So you know what I'm saying. So, but rape, you destroyed somebody for the rest of their life
So
when you
that's
did
the
that.
worst. Like, I can understand someone stealing something.
Right.
I can understand murder. Like, if murder was legal, I might kill 20 people a day. Like, let's
Man,
be
the
honest.
purge would go
driving,
down today.
Oh yeah, driving in Los Angeles. Let's be honest, okay? Easily. Like, I feel like
Be racking up bodies.
yeah. If people felt the consequence of their honk, like if every time you
gosh.
honk, you knew what you were honking for, like it meant something. Sure, this is an unmentionable, unconscientious degree of action where you rape a young lady who's passed out behind a dumpster.
And on-campus rape is so high, and we have been fighting against this for a long time. And I fought against this in college. And what messages these sending out there to the people? Like, you know what? I'm not going to get as much trouble as I thought I was, so I'm about to go out and rape, because rape is serious. 1 in 3 women at my college were being raped.
What college did you go to?
We went to Washington State
We went to
University.
Washington State University, where
Oh
we
my
held
gosh.
a very long march, and we had T-shirts that
You
literally
had a march?
entire.
Was it a slut
No,
walk?
it
Because
wasn't.
that's kind of
It
what
was-
that
it
is.
wasn't a slut
But it was like
was
it was like
walking
an
there.
unspoken. Like
Yes.
a parent would drop their child off and be like, "Be careful," because you know what I mean.
And
To
I'm
the
not-
point where people who weren't involved in rape, people would trump it up to get better grades.
Yes,
That's
that's
how
how crazy it
much
was.
it
That
was.
people would say they would just so they can get better grades, because it was happening so often. I used to drive for women's transit, and it was basically like free Uber just so women wouldn't get raped on campus. Like, that's
Literally,
how crazy
women's
it is.
transit.
Yes.
That's
So that's what I'm saying. So when you
Names,
give
right?
the leniency for something like this, he should have got the book thrown at him for something like this. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? And then when you hear his father, because not only did his father say that, his father is saying, well, my son has been changed so much. His eating habit is terrible. He used to like steaks. And you're sitting here listening to what kind of value, like the mother should already be beating the hell out of the husband and the son. Like that whole
Should've shot the
family
son instead of the
system.
gorilla.
You know what I'm saying?
So what we have pulled up now is the actual mugshot that
Yes.
took a very long time to come out. But in this picture, it looks like he's actually
We'll do it
crazy.
again. He looks like he will do it again. He looks like a sociopath, and he needs to be slapped repeatedly.
Well, I don't want to. I
don't
don't
know
want
if
to use
repeatedly
pictures.
is a word.
I don't want to use pictures as proof and evidence. In
I
a
do.
Judicial.
All we
case.
have
I
is
do.
pictures, man. We just finished looking at the little black boy calling him bad. I'm gonna look at this white dude
Yeah.
and say everything about him
I
too.
didn't call the boy bad.
If I'm gonna assume based on only images, I'm gonna do it evenly. And that white boy looks crazy. I'm sorry. If I left my wallet around him, I'm not getting it back.
No. Wallet is
gone.
fine. He does have school shooter written on his face.
I'm just looking at
He
his
does.
eyes. He's like Remy from Higher Learning. Like, I'm just not going for it. No. But why would you want to hide that too? If pictures don't mean anything, then why would they do so much to cover it up?
Exactly.
Because you can see the true essence of him
Exactly.
through his eyes.
And not only that, but when you look at other court cases, not even his, when you look at other situations, they always take the most malicious looking picture of the
100%.
person. Every time, just to be like, this is the only image we have of him. And in this picture, he's holding a baby. He's throwing a baby in the air.
Yeah.
That's his child, and they're playing. But you don't get to see that. You
And
know what I
I-
mean? Or look at the pictures of when they show in the courtroom of somebody. The one time somebody puts their head down like that is the
That's-
only picture that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Or
You know
if
what I
he
mean?
smiles, if he smiles in the courtroom,
Right.
after committing a horrible crime, it's just that's
what goes everywhere.
And that's why the second issue is the concept of the media and how the media is actually programming us to think one way or another. And it comes down to, is it race based or is it also affluency based? We've seen the case of affluenza being
Yeah.
a justifiable argument that won in a court case, and now we see it again where money talks and
yeah.
justice walks.
Well, for me, it makes a statement that I remember the opposite way. Because I've never heard of a chick being passed out behind a dumpster and somebody come up and beat. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
So then when I do hear it, I'm like, what does the person look like who would do some garbage like that? And they hide the picture and show us this phenomenal looking kid. And you're like,
Innocent.
well, he couldn't have done
It
that.
couldn't have been him.
Then
Not
they
that
show you
guy.
the crazy one. You're like, woo! Remember when you saw the picture of the guy that shot up the theaters in Colorado?
100%.
There was no question of whether or not he could potentially have done. It was
Yes.
like he looks like the Joker.
He looked like he did it. He looked
Yeah,
like
and
he
that's
was
what I'm
doing it in
saying.
the picture. It looked like he had just finished.
Just finished
Right.
shooting the rough
Just
around.
finished
Just finished doing it.
And after you take the picture, you shot too. Like, that's what it looked
Right.
like.
Which is why that little boy, that's why they got that picture of him. But it's great for talking about.
And that's what it is. And the third issue that comes to mind is the concept of rape culture in our everyday lives, where even something as simple as a slip of the tongue of you saying that it was a chick behind a dumpster instead of a young lady behind a dumpster, it all adds up to what we have decisively thought of as rape culture, especially on.
Well, I just said it because that's what it was.
I get it. I
wasn't
get
just
it.
assuming there's a person behind a dumpster. In my mind, I think woman.
But what we're saying is because we use.
But let's be honest, women aren't out here raping dudes. And if they are, it's not as prevalent.
It's definitely not as prevalent until you see cases of teachers who are having sex with 13-year-old.
Have you ever been a 13-year-old boy in a classroom?
I have, and none of my teachers, which actually hurts my heart that no teacher ever.
See what I'm saying? It hurts your heart.
saying,
At my
it's
school, we had a
like
teacher taking down
unattractive.
kids every year, and it wasn't about telling on her. It was about trying to be the kid she chose.
Yeah.
But that's
You're
the
in
thing.
high school smashing Mrs. whatever her name
That
is?
adds to rape culture is that we assume that when it comes to sexuality, we fault and shame and blame our women and absolve our men. Boys will be boys and girls will be sluts. And that's how we unfortunately think.
Well, I don't like that.
Me neither.
But I think that...
Yeah, but you like sluts. Like, that's what I'm saying.
But, this,
like,
but I don't like raping sluts.
Yeah, that's a
I
totally
I like
different.
sluts because they're willing. Does that make sense? That's what makes them sluts. Nobody forced that girl, Ronnie Rose's hand up to her mouth, and she's. I don't want him to see. No, she was like, "What's happening?" Like, that's why I like sluts. The willingness and openness to this DI. You feel me? So, I think that our culture. And it brings everything full circle, other than the gorilla. But our culture to make to over sexualize everything is what this spawns from. You know what I'm saying? For him to come and stand there and see a girl behind a dumpster completely inhabilitated and then be like,
The first thing to come to mind is sex instead of is she okay?
Is
Can
she-
I help her?
Right.
That's what you gotta like. That mindset.
we don't even know if it's the
alone-
first thing. I don't know how long he was back there reasoning with himself.
Yeah, that's true.
Nor do you know if she was like, just do it, and then passed out. So how do we know?
no.
How do you know?
I don't know, but I do know that it's inappropriate behavior. If once a girl has passed out, she is no longer able to give consent. And this is something that we should add. Instead of the only things I learned from sex ed is how to pronounce the word uterus and what a vulva was, and I still don't really. I'm not 100%
Well,
sure
it's that
about
little-
what vulva is.
I need you to
They
know what a
should've-
vulva is.
Yeah,
As a
I'm not
grown
sure.
man
I'm
with the
not really
confidence
sure.
to come out in public with a robe
Vulva,
on, I need you to know what a vulva
pretty
is.
sure- I'm
I
like,
need to know that
think-
if you ever take that robe off, it's
think-
going to be some vulvas torn up around this
I
mug.
think it's vulva. I'm not sure.
You don't know.
I'm not sure. I think I know where the vulva. I mean, I know.
Okay, well look.
Right?
That's the thing.
Meanwhile, he knows what ALS is, but not sure what a vulva is.
I ice bucket challenge for that ALS. Okay.
There you go.
I put in a lot more work for some vulva, and nothing has come of it.
Right?
Nothing has come of it, and that's what I'm saying is like sex ed. We need to educate our kids and especially our young men on the appropriate way to treat a woman.
I know that's right.
For sure. I mean, they have campaigns. The No Means No campaigns. They have, and they come through teaching people about that.
That's the
But
problem. No
people
means
need a
no isn't
refresher
it.
come college time.
No means no is not it. Because if no meant no, none of us, like, no means no, humanity would have ended 5,000 years ago. Like, no means no, but does. Like, that's the problem. You say that.
Not
but
in
there's so
regards
much
to
Wait,
sex,
what?
but you're saying in regards to other things.
when a female said, when you say no means no, right? If a girl saying no is the end all of sex, then that's just off top, right? But how many times a guy sit there and try to convince
How many
a girl?
times? Yeah. How many
and
times have you
Netflix
been
is
like?
Yeah,
your
but
world?
eventually I have to say yes. If I'm still saying no, then
Exactly.
that's no.
Eventually, so we change
okay.
the no into yes by persistence, and then that same persistence.
Let me tell you something. That last no means no.
Yeah.
The last no. Exactly.
That first no is useless.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at. So we
that
No.
first no is the we don't
Well, ain't
want to look
nobody
back.
even here like this looks cool.
I'm getting consent forms nowadays. Like I'm real. But that's the thing. The first no and the last no. But that last no means no.
Right.
Yes.
And that's very real. And it's something we're not educating. The fact that we even have to discuss it with each other, between ourselves, that we have to tell fathers to raise their kids not to be rapists is a problem.
Well, we need a lot of fathers too, so that they can tell their kids not to be
Right.
rapists.
Well, what my
That's
father
a-
taught me was whether it's not about don't be a rapist, because that is like obvious. It
Yes.
was more so don't put yourself in a situation where this could be the outcome.
Yeah.
Be smart about your whereabouts. He shouldn't have been in no alley at 3:00 in the morning to see her there.
He should have been.
That's what it is.
Him walking the alley, he should have been in a position where he would have helped this girl
Yes.
and said, "How can I assist you? Are you okay? Let's call the ambulance because you are passed out behind a dumpster."
Right. So if you saw a girl passed out behind a dumpster, do you stay there with her and call and wait on the emergency services to come?
Do you want me to be very honest?
Yes.
It depends.
On.
honestly,
how white she is.
exactly.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Because listen, let's be very
Let's
real.
be at 1,000.
I'm black and Persian. Nothing good is coming out of this
that's why you're
situation.
cute. Okay.
Nothing good is coming out of this situation for me. Hi, Kanisha. How are
Hey,
you?
I'm doing
How you
good,
doing?
Daddy. Yes means yes around here.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm out because I don't want someone to wake up and then misidentify me because Method Man raped her, and now I look enough like Method Man that it's my.
Not that Method Man's a rapist.
Not at
I
all.
get the
Not my
metaphor.
baby's father.
Here's my thing. I don't know if that's for me to be reporting. And if so, it needs to be a way to do it. Because let's say
This is true. I know.
I saw the girl behind the dumpster.
Yes.
I called or texted or whatever the police or the rape line or called. They have those little stands on campus. The rape.
Yes. The little button.
Yeah. So then you call in and you say at 4:21 on such and such a day, I just saw a girl behind a dumpster over in this alley or whatever, right?
Sure.
So then they come, and when they get there, there's two dudes holding down another dude that raped her. Now, those two got to be talked to. The kid who did it got to be talked to. The guy who reported it got to be. Why didn't you pick her up? Did you do something? We need you to come down. We're gonna swab you for DNA as well.
And when they start swabbing, you never know what's gonna happen.
You never know because I'm not in the lab, and I don't know if the guy in the lab is David Koresh.
And unfortunately, especially if you're, because it says she was also intoxicated or you're under the influence of something and you know something happens to you and you're the first person I see, sometimes your brain has a way of tricking you, for false reality.
Right.
And now you're the first person I see and you got to be the one that, that did something to me. So that's scary too.
Phones have
you can record all that.
And being the first one to help.
Yes.
It's like, what did you do to me? Mm-hmm. Like, whoa, I didn't do nothing. I just found you, but found me. Last thing I had was Omega oil.
Oh,
I got the Omega oil.
First of all, I love Omega oil.
Oh, do you?
I'm a pearl at heart. Okay.
Right. She's like, I've been passed out.
Okay.
And
I've never.
Which dumpster I gotta lay behind?
Is that Atomic Dog playing? I'm down.
That's real though.
That's outstanding. So listen, we gotta wrap it up because we had a slot and we're in that slot. I feel like this is a good run. I've enjoyed myself, Teron, my man.
Thank you for
incredible, Nene.
Thank you for entertaining.
No, man,
you guys objectional points of view.
I appreciate you having them be strong and being so outspoken. So what I want to know before the music cues all the way in, is what you got coming up, man.
Well, I'm at the Laugh Factory every Monday and Thursday, 10 p.m. are my shows. Also, catch me on Comedy Central coming out in the fall, and I have a new show coming out on Fox.
Awesome.
Called So Me.
So Me?
So Me.
I like it.
I like that.
Matter of fact, I love it. Nene, what you got?
You can check me out over at Shade 45 right now on Sirius XM and All Def Digital. Stay putting out content over there. And the Ratchet Pack, which is a girl rap group that I write for, and they just dropped their first music video.
The Ratchet Pack?
Yes.
Okay.
And they are some very talented young ladies, okay?
That should have had a different name then. Because I can't take that serious.
Ratchet Pack's not winning the Grammy. You know that.
Let me tell you something. I got paid for my song, so that's not.
Then again, 3 6 Mafia
I
has
was
an
gonna
Oscar.
say, who knows?
They have an Oscar.
So there you go.
That's crazy. So you can catch me on social media at Mr. Nate Jackson. That's MrNateJackson or NateJacksonComedy.com to be up on all the stuff I got going. Again, this is the Comedy Roundtable
Hey.
with Teron, Kanisha, and Nate. Peace.
Is it round because you're round?
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram @KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.